Hi everyone. No one else is here, so I'm gonna play a little pre-show song for you. Why do my eyes look to the sky to find out why they've been crying? And how do you know what's buried below the parables told when you were 9 years old? It shows snow piled high up on the mountain. Here's where it gets weird. Here we might find fear. The clouds are frowning while we're drowning. But here it might get clear. The sun almost seems so near. The snow could melt. That was just a little pre-show song for you. Thanks for watching. We'll be getting started in just a moment. It's the hot show. I don't know how it's gonna go. It's the hot show. I can't guess what's gonna happen next. So come on and join in. Let's do the hot show. Howdy. Welcome to the Hot Show. I'm your host, Hot the Cat. I'm excited to be here tonight. Thanks to everyone who's watching live on the Twitch stream. anyone who's watching this in the future, either on our Twitch page or on our YouTube archive, which can be found in the profile of our Twitch page at twitch.tv/hotthecat. Follow us, subscribe, whatever. You can also find us at Hot the Cat, all one word. Many social media places. Yeah, Instagram, Twitter, those are the main ones. Yeah. Happy to be here. It's going to be an interesting episode, I think. Trying something a little weird tonight. I was going through some stuff. Here, actually, I see we have a friend here besides Otter. Otter, say hello to everyone. Hi, kitty. Yeah. Yeah. So cute. All right. We have another friend, though. Otter, do you want to say hi to Shelton?
Hi. Hi, Otter. Hi, Hot the Cat. What a joy to see you both today.
It's really nice to see you as well. I was really pleased to see you show up in the waiting room.
Oh, well, I made it home from the grocery store and the hardware store on time.
Oh, kitty, you're really just hanging out.
Oh, look at the cuddles. You're so cute.
Yeah, so this is going to be a pretty interesting episode. I'm going to take us out of this view because it's kind of a weird one.
Much better.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. So, have you ever heard of slow TV?
I have not.
So, apparently there's this thing, I believe it's in Norway. There's this thing called slow TV, which is where at certain times on like the national programming of Norway, they just have it like hours long of something very slow happening. So one of the first ones that they did was a train ride, like most of the country length. So it's just like a 5-hour train ride that happened.
Sounds similar to this show.
Yeah, but there was like no sound, or they had sound, but it wasn't like there weren't people involved, except for you would see people like, as the train passed them and stuff. I thought this was a really interesting idea, and I was going through my. I used to have this camera, and I would take video of just random things. And one of the things that I took a video of that I found the other day is just clouds going by the yard that I used to live at. And so I thought that I thought maybe we could watch some clouds together today.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
I'm glad you think so.
Yeah, I brought a little prop to share later.
Cool. I think so. One of the things about this idea is that I thought that maybe it would be nice to try. Can you still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is try once we get started to not really switch out of watching these clouds happen. Like we can be on the side and everything, but mostly it's just going to be the clouds.
Like it.
Yeah. So now, in case the person who, like anybody who's watching, like I know anyone who's watching in the future has already seen this, but I want to show this this thing again because it's so cool. This is another great like animated little poster thing from Penelope. Though I understand, Sheldon, you collaborated on this today.
Yeah, I helped with the background. didn't realize how many cloud photos that I had been collecting over the years. Whether it be the few times I've been in an airplane the past 2 years, or just standing outside rail stations, or seeing a nice sunset with some clouds, I realized I had collected quite a few cloud photos.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a really beautiful backdrop for this poster. Like it's gorgeous.
Thank you. I
Um,
believe that's above Nebraska.
oh, nice, very nice.
Not entirely sure on that. It's either Nebraska, Idaho, or somewhere leaving Colorado.
Um, now, I was communicating with Amanda Caesar, who did that poster, Penelope, to people who are longtime watchers of the show, um, and uh, she suggested asking you to show some of those other pictures
Oh,
um,
really?
that were because she was saying that like there were so many beautiful pictures that you had of clouds. Um, and so I was wondering if you wanted to show a few of those before
Sure.
we get started.
1 second to find them. And then I thought we might combine a minute of Leave It to Chance with this project before I find this.
Oh, interesting.
Give me 1 second here. All right.
Let's leave it to chance, though you might call me a hopeless romantic. Let's dance with fate. Oh, what do you say? Let's roll the dice.
Precision.
Although you might get frantic if it doesn't go our way. Let's flip a coin to decide if it's heads. I guess that I could raise the stakes, though it might be a mistake. Oh well, let's leave it to chance.
Thanks.
Now, what do you?
I wanted to share that. I leave this on my desk occasionally when I'm
Now,
in trouble making a decision.
is there? Are there fortunes that can be told with that?
I mean, like, I suppose so, but
Are they just different kinds of clouds?
it's one large cloud folded into various parts. But I guess if you like chose a specific one,
Okay, let's see. I'm kind of liking here. I'm gonna make it a little bigger for us. Oh, I think I'm gonna go with the. I guess that one.
this one,
Yeah.
all right.
Thank you for doing that. I wasn't sure how I was going to tell you because I know left and right is all messed up.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I think I'm going to do the same quadrant again. Yeah, that quadrant. And wait, don't I have to pick one more?
I think so.
Isn't that how this works?
I think so.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll do the kitty corner one from that one. Yeah, yeah. Let's see what we
Well,
got here.
you got some more beautiful clouds.
Ah, wonderful.
I don't know. I think it's a helpful reminder that sometimes when you're making a decision, we all end up in the clouds. So,
Yeah, what I really like about that, even though it's like not helpful if you were actually trying to make a decision, uh, is that there is difference to it. Like you're choosing different clouds, like, and you're getting different clouds, but it all is just like, oh, that's nice. Like that's a different cloud that I found. Like I don't know, it's just like a pleasant thing to experience.
I'm glad that you enjoyed that experience. I think
Yeah.
that um I don't know, it's sort of like when you're sitting in looking up at pictures of like or looking up at the clouds and trying to make meaning out of them.
Hmm.
It's like a very small version of that.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, it's like a you still have to make a decision, but yeah, they're all just clouds. Uh, yeah, it's great. It's great.
Yeah. Well, I'll see if there we go. I think I can share a tab.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There we go. Are
Okay,
you ready
here
to
we
see
go.
some cloud photos?
Let's check them out.
Wanna make this full screen. There we go. Is this the full screen? Here we go.
Yeah, that's as I think as big as we're going to get. Very nice. These are all interesting. These are a lot of like top down, right?
The first two are. I like this one because it's like, I don't know. It could be clouds, it could be cotton,
Yeah, yeah,
it could be styrofoam, like shaving cream.
yeah. It could be something very close, like a white rug.
Yeah, I can see that too. Doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, an artificial cloud.
If you look really closely in this image, ah, there's the city of Chicago.
Oh yeah.
There's Montrose Beach. There's Lincoln Park. I think there's Wrigley Field. I'm not entirely sure.
Very nice. Oh, that one's pretty.
This is the view from Sox 35th.
It looks like ripples on water also.
Oh yeah, I kind of see that as well.
Mm, that's striking.
Yeah, this was a really nice day. It was everything, like the whole sky was pink and it was just really nice, nice day. It's from Cermak, Chinatown.
Oh, whoa.
This is also from between Cermak and Archer,
That's a really interesting palette of colors.
right? There's like this like subtle pink
Mm-hmm.
and then like this deep orange, almost
Mm-hmm.
becomes purple,
Yeah.
and then this very bright yellow.
Yeah, and like not a lot of like difference in the yellow. It's just that vibrant yellow.
Yeah, it's pretty intense in person too. I feel like there's this beautiful thing that happens with sunsets and clouds for like clouds you can get pretty okay, but like at sunset it's just never the same in person.
Yeah. Wow, another great palette. Look at that.
This is also from the south side. It was beautiful that day.
It looks like somebody painted that and then got bored using normal colors and just it's like, I'm just gonna throw some pink in there.
When
And
you
I had
were
a lot of
a small child, did anyone ever tell you like that when it was raining that it was the angels up in heaven bowling?
fun. I don't maybe. It wasn't a strong memory, but I remember, when I heard about, the, um, Rumpelstiltskin not Rumpelstiltskin, what's the other guy? Rip Van Winkle, and they he's in the mountains in the Catskills, I think,
Huh.
and there he hears, like, kinda rolling thunder, and it's the people in the mountains bowling.
Hmm.
They're playing nine pins, I guess.
I like it. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This one always reminds me of a Bob Ross painting. uh, I like this spot because there's like sometimes like once a year the sun goes right in between these like two towers
Mm,
at Roosevelt. It's really nice.
that is nice.
It's the same view.
Whoa, that's such a juxtaposition to the last one.
What do you mean by that?
Like because the other one's so dark and you have like the all this stuff kind of in the way, but you still have that really vibrant sunset colors.
Mhm.
Um, and like the you see the cars and everything at the bottom um, and the next one is just so much more open and then the greens are there that weren't even anywhere in the last one and it's so bright and white and blue and it's very different.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Like there's like a interesting effect that's happening from like the light that's coming from this direction and then also from the top. Like
Mm.
I don't know, I liked that all those things were happening at the same time. If only this the window that I was looking at it wasn't so
I
dirty.
I just noticed that. That's really interesting. Like it's kind of weird. Like at first, it's kind of just like, oh yeah, there's something over there with that other, the train stuff there. Oh wait, no, that's what? Oh, it's something on the window.
Yeah, it's dirty.
Yeah, that's
I
funny.
kinda I don't know if I like if that's worth editing out or whether it's like I kind of enjoy that this is, like, beautiful and gross.
Yeah, I like it. I personally like it.
Um, this was just a nice little view. I wasn't
Hmm.
sure if I should include this or not. But I like that sometimes you can see dogs at the dog park.
Hmm. It's nice to see some clouds.
It is nice to see some clouds.
I think that's the one.
Yeah, I think this is the one that, Penelope chose. Part of me also just realized that my screen is dirty and that some of those dots weren't even just the window.
That's funny.
It could've you know what? I think Penelope could have chosen I think she chose this one.
Oh, yeah, maybe you're right.
I think it's this one. I'm not entirely but if you look very, very closely,
Yeah, I
that
think
little
you're right.
dot right here
Where?
is an airplane.
Oh, fun.
Beep, beep.
Were you going in you might not remember this, but do you know if you're going in opposite direction or the same direction?
Opposite directions, I believe.
Cool.
Yeah, it would 'cause it would have been going to my right. Then if you look down, you can see some of the stuff below us. And I like that there's a couple different kinds of clouds in this as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think these ones are called Sirius, and then these are called Columbus.
Uh,
It starts with a C.
I think the words that you're looking for are cirrus
Cirrus,
and,
cumulonimbus.
well, maybe cumulonimbus, maybe cumulus.
Yeah. Might be mixing that up with Harry Potter.
Well, cumulonimbus is also a type of cloud, but those didn't necessarily look like cumulonimbus. Cumulonimbus are like kind of like storm clouds,
Yeah. Nice.
I believe.
Well, thank
I'm
you.
not well versed in clouds, but I was thinking about it a little bit uh, before this show in preparation.
That was helpful to be reminded. And this is another view. Some clouds. I think this is a duplicate. All right. Those are some nice cloud photos.
Cool. Thanks for showing those. You know, one of the things that I think one of the reasons that I wanted to do this episode, and we haven't even like really started the thing, um, which is like an hour and a half video, is that like even while we were getting through that, there was a certain moment where I had the like feeling of like I want this to like I want to like keep moving forward, like, um, but like it was just nice. It was actually nice to just like slow down a little bit and be like, okay, what what are all these showing? You know, like, um, because it there's such a feeling of like always trying to like go and go and go, and that's like been the mode of my life for the past few weeks, to the point that I had a hard time doing a show last week, and so we didn't have one. Um,
Yeah, it's nice to take him. And honestly, even when I was sitting there and I was like, man, I've really been collecting a lot of these pictures of clouds, but I haven't edited them. And I'll like kind of beat myself up about like not creating or not making something or like not taking time to print things. And I don't know, I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, wow, like it really took me a long time to go through all those. And then I thought, you know what? It was just nice to make something and it was nice to like stare at those photos when I was editing them.
mhm.
And that
Yeah,
doesn't happen when you're making artwork. So it was a nice moment to share. And thank you to Penelope for your amazing poster.
yeah. Thanks, Penelope.
Yeah.
Doubtful you're ever going to see this, but thanks.
We'll just take that clip and then send it.
Yeah, yeah. Just send a little thank you video of the show. Um, yeah, so I sort of had the idea that we'd probably take around half an hour of just random little stuff. And then uh, we're going to kind of do something a little bit interesting with this show, which is, as I said, like put this video up and just kind of sit with this video. Um, but I wanted to invite anybody watching to come in um, and be a part of this, uh, and kind of have it like sort of like a call-in show. Um, and I even have the number ready for the call-in aspect. If anybody wants to do that, we'll see. Um, yeah, so maybe we should get started. It's gonna
Yeah.
be a while before we end it, so um, let's check it out. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if I know some other folks are supposed to show up at some point, but I don't know.
I like how
Uh,
big your mouse is.
yeah, it happened because I have it like in a. Does it shrink there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really funny. Yeah, I have it like kind of in a way where you can see everything small. That's just a silly thing. Great. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna just get this started.
Old quarry clouds.
Yeah, so this was at a house that I lived at on Old Quarry Road in Missoula, Montana.
See some snow?
Yeah, some snow up on the mountain there. It's out towards Blue Mountain.
Can you identify these clouds?
No, I didn't look at it well enough to identify these ones. We probably could by the end, but I don't know if that's necessarily the focus I want to necessarily have on this. Um, I did write a little song for this, um, if you'd like to hear it.
I would love to hear it.
Can you hear hear me? All right. I know that there's a little bit of sound, I think, coming from the video. Is that right?
I know. I can mute myself also.
Oh no, never mind. I forgot that that isn't doesn't work like that. I'll just mute it. Okay. Cloud top, let's wander while the clouds walk slowly by. What's your status with these stratus now? Are you serious about cirrus clouds? Are there cumulonimbus accumulating wherever you are? It's cloud talk. Thanks, Sheldon.
I feel like I started clapping while I attempted to start clapping before I was unmuted.
Well, it was still appreciated.
It's really
Um,
calming to watch these.
yeah, so I'm going to actually take us off since it's just the two of us right now, and just check out the clouds. Oh, there's a person walking.
I was very distracted by it. I was like, look, dog!
Wow, that's fun.
And there's other animals sometimes in the background.
Uh,
Or
there's cars. I think
yeah.
the highway is visible.
Yeah, I think I saw a couple like buses or semi trucks.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any birds though.
Hmm. Yeah, I wonder if we'll see any.
I hope so. That's kind of exciting. How dare you not include a whole bird in here? Just kidding.
Now, so a normal question for the hot show is about kind of what animal you are. Um, because of course I'm a cat and everything. But today for cloud talk, I'd like to go into something a little bit different. Um, I I'm really kind of curious. First of all, if you noticed the clouds that were happening outside today,
Um,
or where you were.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't think I looked up at the sky today. So it was raining and I was working outside.
Right, right.
So I I don't think I did much. I looked up at the sky a lot. Well, I guess I did, but it was more just to like observe what was going to be pouring down on me and how soon.
So, so there were probably some kind of rainy clouds. So probably a lot of cloud cover, right?
I guess it was like so bright and also rainy that like you had to squint your eyes to look up at it. I was not prepared for this question.
It's okay. I just wanted to ask.
You That's a
I
good
just wanted to ask to see if it was if you had noticed, or if you just happen to know.
You know,
Um,
I feel like after like tomorrow I'll probably notice them a lot more, which is funny because like, you know, I didn't really think about it leading up to this episode.
mhm. um, Now, so in line with what I was saying about, usually we ask, what animal you are. If you were a type of weather, what would you say that you are today?
Uh, well, honestly, my day was pretty stressful, so I'm trying to think of like I feel like I'm Chicago weather. Like the way that um it can the other day I was at work and I was having a stressful day and I was working till 8 like 8 o'clock on a Friday, and not only did it sleet at noon it was like very um sunny and nice out and it was like around 50 degrees, and then in the next hour it was raining and it was cold. And then in the next hour, it was sleeting. Then it hailed, and then it was sunny again. And I was taking pictures outside of Wrigleyville, so that's why my day was like that.
Uh, so it sounds like you have a little bit of tumultuous weather that you are at the
Yeah,
moment.
just today.
But I mean, that's what I'm asking about. I'm asking what weather you are today.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
today right
Let's
now
see.
is one of the sunny times, though.
Oh, good. That's really nice. Now, I have seen that we have a another guest, and I'm very excited to have this person on. I've been uh, talking with him a little bit recently, and I'm just going to bring him on, and we can start talking about this stuff. Let's bring us back, and Dave.
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, hello.
What's up?
Uh, Dave, Shelton, Dave.
Hi, Shelton.
Hello. My dad's name is Dave, so you said Dave Shelton, and I was like, huh. Sorry. We should have my dad on at some point, though.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it. But right now we have Dave, not Dave Shelton.
Yeah. Hi,
Yeah,
Dave.
with however many however many did I type? 5, 6? I think 6. I can't even tell.
Five
Yeah,
extra, it looks like. Yeah, yeah.
5 extra?
I think so. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, six of them. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Dave, how are you? And if you can make it into a weather that you are, I would love to hear what that is.
Hmm. Yeah, I would say like a like a hot rain, like a humid rain when it feels, except not the full rain. It's just humid and it's kind of sprinkling, but you know it's about to rain and maybe you aren't fully prepared. You didn't bring the right jacket or you don't have an umbrella. So there's all sorts of situations happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
a whole like tableau, but cool. But yeah, it's the humidity with the promise of rain coming up, I think would be the main thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you started talking about kind of the sprinkling, uh, very hot, humid. Uh,
Hmm.
I was wondering if it was going to be before or after the storm. Uh,
Before, but maybe the storm passes, maybe there's not even a storm. There's a lot of
yeah. Oh.
paranoia involved. It's
Right.
just
Right.
you're really worried about what's your clothes and your yeah.
Uh,
Bad is the non-weather term.
well, but it's interesting because you know there are worse kinds of rain in my mind than a hot, humid rain. Uh, cold, cold rain to me is the worst, especially being unprepared for it. Um, in the summer, like at least like yeah, like being unprepared for it is going to be uh, rough, but like it'll probably feel good at least. It's just like, oh, then I have to like change out all my clothes because I'm super soaked.
Yeah, I think I might hate rain. I think it's so unpleasant to be
Mm,
soaked through in rain, even in beautiful surroundings. Because snow you can bundle up for and it's kind of magical. But rain, I just really associate with misery in a lot of
mm.
different, scenarios.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can get that. I think that perhaps I am um, abnormal in that way. That
No, I don't think
I
so.
don't.
I think there's definitely and I'm definitely not the most miserable kind of rain,
Right,
like
right.
but yeah, I think that's a pretty common thing. I think people like a sort of warm, there's a refreshingness of it, but I think I'm just
Yeah.
just I don't need it at all.
Do you think that you would enjoy living in a desert, like
No.
like a place that did not have rain?
No, it would be cool if it could rain only when I'm inside.
Yeah,
Like I rain from the inside, totally different
yeah, right, right.
experience.
No, it's lovely.
That's like
Yeah.
one of the wishes on like if I could have like three, the three magic
Yes.
wishes, like that would be a really good one.
Yeah, that is a good point. I gotta back pocket that.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
like kind of those low level superpowers. Uh,
Right, right.
like I can control the weather, but only to the extent that it doesn't rain when I go outside, but it'll rain when I'm inside.
Right. It's like reverse Winnie the Pooh, sort of. Like the one rain cloud on
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
it's
right.
like, yeah.
Whoa, look at that cloud in the background, like right above the mountain.
Oh yeah.
That is looking cool. It's the contrast between like that bright highlight and the sun coming through, and then
Hmm.
like the dark shadow of its opposite side.
Yeah.
Parts of this look pixelated.
It's possible that they could be.
I don't think it is though. I think it's just the clouds. Like I don't think it's actually pixelated, but it looks. I realize the limitations of being in a digital space and saying that looks pixelated,
Right.
and it sounds like I'm razzing on your gear, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm saying I think the natural scene is giving.
Mhm.
She's giving pixelation.
Yeah.
I like the way you phrased that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and you can see a little blue of the sky now.
Oh, that's nice.
Look at that. Hey there.
I am familiar with slow TV.
Oh, you are.
They have it on Netflix.
Oh, I know. I've heard that they have expanded it beyond Norway, but I didn't necessarily know where to find it or anything. That's cool. I really like the idea of slow TV, kind of a lot, because I don't know. I was just reading about how in like tribal cultures, there's this person that's recently been doing some analysis of anthropological data, and the data was of just an anthropologist going around to just random people and seeing what they were doing at any given moment in the day. And the top thing for many of the cultures that they studied was doing nothing.
Whoa.
Yeah, just idle. Like, which was different than chatting with people and different than like doing light work. It was just doing nothing.
I'm surprised many of them didn't say being interviewed. I'm so sorry.
I don't know.
Maybe it was shade at the interviewer. Like, this means nothing to me.
So
Yeah.
I used to work in telemarketing, or not telemarketing. I used to work for the Illinois Health Department. We used to call people and ask them about their health and health practices, and it was like you were cold calling. So it was sometimes just weird to like. There's a really iconic movie called Sorry to Bother You, and if you haven't seen it, please watch it. It is an interesting trip. Don't watch it if you're on a lot of drugs. I wasn't on them. I just am giving that warning to begin with. But Sorry to Bother You is about like a telemarketer and a guy who he's a black guy who uses a white voice in order to get like more calls on the phone, or like get more people to listen to him. And I don't know, when I worked at a call center, we'd use all sorts of accents and stuff, and one of my like coworkers would use his like Barack Obama voice, and I thought that was pretty funny, and I would do like a southern accent. Anyways, you just like, there's a visual in the movie where like they drop into your house and like they show the table, like whoever did the set design on this movie, like this was incredible. And even if you just watch like the trailer for it, you can see that visually happening where it drops down and you just drop into someone's life and like ask them questions. So I can't imagine like if you're relaxing and then you're being interviewed about what it is what you do when you're relaxing or doing nothing. No.
Yeah, that it's right. But you're probably not living in a modern house. So it's like someone's just crashing your hut, or
I mean,
or the whole plains are your house, and they're just sidling up with their recorder to interrupt your staring off into the plains.
is this like a modern like interview? Because I mean, like, you know,
I think it was maybe in the 80s.
Oh, because I mean, like even in the 80s, like Native people live in houses. Like,
Well, no, this is like what's it called? Like people who are disconnected from the rest of the world.
oh, okay.
But they had beepers in the 80s.
Yeah. Hmm.
Did they contrast this with was there a control study for this of people in,
No,
you know?
because I don't think that it was planned necessarily to be a study when the anthropologists first were doing it. I think they were just collecting data on these people. But that would be a very interesting thing, to just go around to random people and see what they're doing, especially like if you could do it with a small group of people, like people, like one apartment building or something. Because like one of the things about it being a like small tribe or something is that they can go back to the same person and
Right.
keep seeing, okay, this person is doing nothing at this rate per day. Kind of.
How efficient are they in their doing nothing?
Yeah. Go
I
ahead.
have an important question. I'm sorry, but my question is, what is doing nothing? You know what I mean? Because like you're still doing something. Like even if you say you're doing nothing, like you could be resting or you could be sleeping. When I say I'm doing nothing,
I think
like
sleeping was different than doing nothing.
yeah, I figure. So like if it's like doing nothing is like just staring or like waiting for something or like observing, because I feel like what we're actively doing right now is like watching the clouds, and that's like a nature observation in itself. Like if you were just like somebody who lived in, I don't know, a regular old house, like that is the action of like observing nature. um I had a teacher who had us read Aldo Leopold, and he said, your homework this week is to sit outside in nature for 15 minutes. And you had 15 minutes every week. You had to sit in one spot and observe all the nature around you. And I don't know, it was interesting because, like, you realize how often you don't do that, Like, how
Mm-hmm.
often I didn't even you asked me earlier, like, did I look at the clouds today? I was thinking, like, did I? And I remember when you were sitting outside, it was like, wow, like I noticed that there's this specific kind of bug, like, or like there's actually a pile of ants like right next to me, or um, and you can take it to be like 1 inch in front of you, or you can be like in a field or something, or like you can say, oh, I saw birds, and then describe what kind of birds they are, or I saw grass, and it's like just slightly yellow, or I don't know. It's interesting to take that time because I feel like when
Bird.
you do nothing. Wait, what?
A bird just went past.
I missed it.
Yeah, sorry.
Just gonna stare at
Sorry
the
sorry to interrupt you. That was
I
a
was so
really
excited.
lovely thing you were saying.
I was looking too. I might have looked away for a second.
It,
But I just think that like when you're describing doing nothing, like I feel like there's you're doing something, you know. But that's part of me also just like having ADHD, and I'm like, no, like even when I'm doing nothing, like I'm sitting there thinking about something, or I'm like looking at something, you know?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it's a complete, absence of thought or uh, taking in sensation, taking in the world around you. I think I think that's part of it though. But like that's something that I feel like we so rarely do. Like that you had to be assigned to do that for 15 minutes every week is like you didn't do that already. Like that is that used to be a part of everyone's life all the time, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, even like when I was a kid, like there was more doing nothing. And before that, like I've read about how like in the difference between children who were grew up in the 70s and kids who grew up in the 90s was already a really stark difference between the amount of uh, freedom that they had in their space and freedom in their attention that they could have. Um, because like stuff starts being, I mean, like, first of all, I mean, like a lot of news stories make it super terrifying for parents to just be like, go outside, go running around the neighborhood. Like, uh, it's a bit different.
Have you ever heard that Brian Regan sketch about that?
You know,
Oh, it's just it. It's a 1 second thing. He just says, "Kids these days, like when I went outside, like there's all these things that kids can be distracted or entertained by, and like when I was a kid, like, or do you think kids nowadays just go outside and like go outside and play with this stick, you know?" Because I know, like, I grew up without like, we got cell phones when we were like in middle school, but like they had maybe Snake on them, and I grew up without video games and barely TV, so like I just I remember thinking to myself like, wow, I can identify a lot more different kinds of leaves because I was so bored, like
but like it's also like it's interesting because what's really different about like you can identify like lots of different Pokemon. Like there's not really like a huge difference between like I could identify a lot of different leaves. Um, it's just being interacting with your world. But I don't know. There's something kind of cool about like having that wider awareness of like this world, larger world.
wow, look at the clouds right now.
Yeah,
I like
there's like a little bit of blue sky at the top now.
I like the really bright white in front of the really dark.
Yeah,
I see a monkey riding like this with like a little hat on that bright white cloud. It's like on a chariot, like leaning forward like this, like a motorcycle.
is that that little one that's up?
It's going up and above now.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe uh, you were looking at this one that's kind of on its own in the blue. That kind of looks like somebody riding a whale.
Yeah,
It's kind of falling apart now.
I'm trying to figure out where the person's riding, but I can see the whale with like a
Yeah,
really weird
I
mouth.
think maybe it's shifted too much now. The whale is gone, uh, or the person's gone and became part of the whale. It's changing too much. It's gone.
Now it looks like the Firefox logo.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, you're right. Oh, I forgot about Firefox.
I use Firefox.
Hipster.
So wait,
There's a person.
are we? Oh
Two
well,
people. You're walking kind of
fast. Is this sped up? This video sped up?
No.
Oh, that person really is just walking really. They're just walking really
I
fast.
have a really aggressive walk.
Yeah, where are you going? It's Montana.
Maybe they're having a really intense conversation. No.
Oh
And
wow.
sometimes people go on brisk walks.
Wait, they're going back.
Oh, I think there's a turn there.
Oh.
Have you seen all this? Is it possible that we might witness a crime?
I have not seen all of this. I have scanned through quickly,
Hmm.
and I was inside the house that was right next to it. Um,
Hmm.
so anything too loud, I would miss.
Right. Well,
That
quiet
really,
maybe though.
Oh wow, you can see the trees moving because of the wind.
I like that one little blue gem spot that's appeared.
oh yeah,
Oh, the lens flare.
yeah.
If
Is that
you
a lens flare?
if you
I,
look
I
closely,
think
it's
so.
also in
Yeah,
the top right. Like if
yeah,
you
yeah.
Mm,
directly above and then to the right, it's like greenish.
yeah, that's crazy.
I like how I didn't notice that the tree all the way to the left was yellow until like the sun started coming up.
Mm.
Is that in real life or is that in the video?
That's in my real life.
Do you see it's not a real bird, but like to the right of the lens flare,
oh yeah,
do you see that looks kind of like a bird?
little dark cloud bird.
Do ban.
Yeah.
I see a tiny elephant up to the very top left in the blue. The trunk is on the right. Actually,
Mm,
it's kind of missing a leg. Never mind. It's not an elephant anymore.
yeah, yeah. I didn't get an elephant. I think I see the cloud that you mean.
Hmm. You know what I noticed when when I used to smoke weed, I used to look at clouds a lot more. Like, like I would sit just you could sit on the ground and look up at the clouds and it would be like this is better than reality TV because it's real, man. You know?
Yeah, man.
I remember when I was in wow, a bird.
Oh, I missed that one.
It was really fast.
Yeah, they are really fast.
Um when I was in I think it was high school, my sister and her boyfriend got betta fish and attempted to have them mate, which is a long process. Like you really have to watch a lot of YouTube videos to figure it out. There's a person on a bicycle.
Hmm.
Two people. Um and I can't tell you oh, and a dog. I can't tell you how many times like I just sat in front of the fish tank like watching the fish and like I don't know. It was a weirdly like interesting experience. Do you see a unicorn emerging like with its wings flapping? It's like
I do not, but I love that you saw it.
I might
Now,
see it.
do you know what Pokemon is the one with the lizard or it's a dragon?
there are quite a few that are dragons.
The really famous first dragon one.
Charizard.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Charizard with it. Oh, it's like shifting now, so never mind. Or like a swan.
So do you think all unicorns have wings? Because isn't that a Pegasus?
Yeah, I don't think they do.
You're
I
right. It
think.
could have been a Pegasus.
But
See,
I feel like that happens a lot. I feel like a lot of people do kind of assume that a unicorn it's magical, so what might as well also give it wings, right?
yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people do. Now the question is, does a Pegasus necessarily have a horn though?
No.
Well, no, that's the same. It's just the mirror question,
But
right?
are
Unicorns
there
fly without wings?
are there Pegasi uh, with horns? Are there unicorn Pegasi?
Well, right. If they're at that point, is it a Pegasus with a horn or a unicorn with wings?
Yeah, great question.
Ain't that
I-
the question, you know?
Unanswerable question, perhaps.
Yeah.
But
Would you rather be a unicorn with magical powers or Pegasus, where all you can do is fly, but you can fly, but no other magical powers, non-specified magical powers as a unicorn, except you definitely cannot fly,
Whoa,
even without wings.
y'all, I did a hot Google, can a unicorn fly? And there are
Mhm.
a lot of responses to this.
I bet.
can a unicorn fly?
I bet
Traditionally,
it's like a hot dog a sandwich sort of question.
no, it seems that
Very divisive
there
issue.
are a lot. So there's like blogs, there's a Reddit, there's unicornyard.com, there's Quora, World of
Man,
Unicorns.
who's asking Quora about that?
I don't know, but there also are
Stack Exchange.
pictures with like horses with wings, and then there are horses with wings with also a corn.
Right, but are they unicorns with wings or are they Pegasus with horns?
And are these pictures pornographic? Because I imagine about half of them probably are.
You know what? I'll share my
Safe search.
let's
Now,
Let's do safe search for the unicorn Pegasus. Okay, we don't need some muscular unicorn Pegasus dicking anybody down in here, you know.
I don't think that's gonna come up.
I think that
Hold on, my sister's staying with me, so she's buzzing.
oh, okay. Well, now to get to your question, I think that I had a dream one time that I was a Pegasus,
Whoa.
which was, but I was a very young Pegasus, I think. So I was like still learning to fly, but it was pretty awesome, I have to say. Like that flying around was so cool. The issue though is unspecified magic. Like that is like there may not be limits except for flying to that magic. And
Well, there are limits. We just have to go intuitively into them. Does this feel like it would be a unicorn power or not?
all right.
Control over the weather. Would a unicorn keep it raining if it was inside or not? I don't know. I don't know if that's a unicorn.
I will say I think that the unicorn definitely can affect the weather to the extent that it can create the situation for rainbows to be around it all the time.
If I think I'd be over the rainbows a little bit. I'd be like, this feels like
it doesn't.
Commercialized version. I'd be like, I don't. We're unicorns. We're not rainbow guys, you know.
I'm not saying that it's always there are always rainbows. But that there is always the possibility of making a rainbow.
Sure. Yeah, I get that. I think I would eschew rainbows entirely if I were a unicorn.
Okay.
I'd be like, I'm a rainbowless unicorn.
That's fair.
Like, why don't we get any, like, what are the colors of horse? You know, is brindle a color of a horse? Like, how come unicorns are always white? I want to see like a brown unicorn, like a deep brown, like a chocolate horse, like unicorn. That would be awesome.
Yeah. I
Horses with the little stripe down the middle of the unicorn. I think there's all sorts of beautiful unicorns that can be where the mundane can be lifted rather than we're just throwing fucking rainbows at it, you know?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I appreciate that perspective. But you know, when you're talking about magic, you know, I don't know.
True.
Like I think that I do think that there's something worth saying about that. Like the difference between seeing a like cartoon rainbow with a and stuff, and actually
Mm-hmm.
seeing a real rainbow in real life. Um, that it has a real magic already to it. Like not like, oh, that's like just like fun and cool. Like, but like, no, that's like one of the cooler things that happens in nature.
That's real. Yeah, fair. So let me ask you, at
Yeah.
the risk of ruining the show, is
I
this
would be
is this
impressed
what?
if you
Okay,
could
okay.
if you
I
could
don't
ruin this
really think
show.
I really don't think I will, but I just, at the risk of being too meta, as someone who is not in on the planning of the show,
Uh,
is there a subtle goal that you're working toward with the show by the end of it, or and are we on track,
so
or is are we already we're already perfectly fulfilling the mission of the show?
I think we are perfectly fulfilling the mission. Um, I would say that my my ideas about the show, um, we might not be perfectly where I imagined we might be. Um,
Okay.
I didn't necessarily expect that we would be debating the merits of rainbows around unicorns, um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and the uh, different coats that a unicorn could have. Um,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily what I imagined, but I have at certain moments described this show as all journey and no destination. Um,
This particular Cloud Talk.
um, no, this show overall,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and generally, uh, some episodes there is a point, like there is something that I am trying to get to. This one in
Mm-hmm.
particular, I did not plan very well. I haven't had a lot of time to plan, and so I specifically came up with a concept that would allow for more openness, and if like it came down to it and it was just me on the stream, um,
Mm-hmm.
that I could just let there be clouds there and not do anything else.
Love that. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So how did you imagine this one in ways that it happened, or did you imagine it specifically?
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah. What was that?
I think that might have been a bird,
Oh, that was,
or
yeah, that was fast.
maybe a bug. I don't
A
know.
ghost,
Could have been a ghost.
a specter, a
There.
spirit.
So this was a house that I lived at in Montana, um,
Mm-hmm.
and when we first moved in, I was fairly sure that there was a pickle ghost that was taking up residence because it smelled like pickles in that house.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and there's
You thought
also,
the ghost just ate a lot of pickles, or that it was a ghost of a pickle?
it never was totally clear. One of my friends started writing a song about it, um, but the song never got finished. So I didn't really. We never fleshed it out all the way. Um,
So it sounds like the song was unfinished business.
yeah.
So maybe if you had finished, that pickle ghost would have gone away.
Eventually, I don't know if it just got kind of covered up by us living there, but it did
Mm,
not. It seemed to not be an issue anymore
okay.
after a while. Um, yeah, so it's possible that we saw the pickle ghost just then. Um, yeah, to answer your question, and quickly note that Gulliver, welcome to the show. Uh,
It's Gulliver Munch time. Gulliver Munch time. Gulliver Munch time.
um,
Munch Munch.
uh, to answer your question, I think I imagined that the conversation uh, that like watching clouds might lend itself to a more serious conversation, um,
Mm,
and like the I feel like part of what led me to doing this show, like besides being like an kind of an open framework uh, of cloud talk, you know, um, and just having clouds, I kind of had this feeling of a lot of like frustration or like kind of just like I don't know what I'm doing with this show. Like I wasn't able to like do anything, and I wasn't like the last show like that we did um, was it was fun, but it didn't have the payoff that I was really looking for, which is always kind of like when you like finish a show and it's kind of like a little bit unsatisfying. And it just kind of like took me down this way, especially because I was really busy and like put a fair amount of work into that episode. That I just kind of ended up kind of being like, what am I doing? And I haven't been booking guests, and uh, I don't know, like because like I'm so pleased that you're here, but I had kind of thought that like uh, it would be very nice um, to have you on sometime as like a guest, where like we've planned it out around you a little bit more. Um,
Mm.
but
Well, I'm
I'm
down for that, but I'm down for whatever.
yeah, yeah, and I kind of had that feeling because I was just listening to your podcast. This is
Mm.
your afterlife. Um, Great podcast, by the way. Check it out, everyone. Uh,
Thank you.
What is
um,
it? Is it on Spotify? This is your afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
check it out. Um, yeah, I was listening to it, and there were some things that you were saying that made me feel like you would appreciate like a sort of space like this, um, and also like that it could be something that you would be like fine just like dropping into, um, and that
Yeah, 100%. I had that thought. I was like, oh, this is like the quiet space.
yeah, you were talking about this idea of like quietness as and like that like because you're like specifically into comedy, right?
Right.
Like you seem to describe yourself often as like a comedian, uh,
Yeah.
right? And so, but you started talking about like this idea of like that like so many of those spaces where comedy is are so loud and like so like trying to be in your face as much as possible, um, and this is like especially this episode is sort of like let's just be quiet for a while and watch some clouds.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
maybe not necessarily comedy, uh,
And not
you
even
know,
necessarily quiet.
but it has the potential for being quiet, and it's definitely quiet in a way that many of those other things are not. I think. Would you agree with that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not, we're not in spew your thesis for the TikTok video in the first 3 seconds of the video territory here. You know,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is refreshing.
Yeah.
And
The
it also
yeah.
vibes with, I've been listening to a lot of ambient music that includes a lot of field recordings. And this is
Mm-hmm.
very much, I mean, it is just a field recording. It's a visual field recording, which is pretty cool, pretty exciting.
Yeah. Now, I just want to point out I know anyone who's watching this is watching the clouds, obviously, but that whole area on the left that was covered in clouds is just blue now. It's just
Mm-hmm.
empty sky. I mean, like there's kind of distant misty clouds, but like all the like sort of like cumulus sort of clouds that were there, totally gone by. Um,
Would you say that those are cirrus clouds that are like the ones that are above, like where they're kind of wispy?
I can't remember if those are Cirrus or Stratus.
I'm gonna look up a picture.
Yeah. So one of the things about this this show, just in kind of a general way, is that, I mean, first of all, the flip side of doing a very slow, quiet show is that there is little to no audience, because there isn't anything in the first 3 seconds that is going to grab anyone's attention necessarily. um, but also, like, there is an aspect of, like, everything sometimes takes so long to happen, and, like, in a lot of ways, the longevity of, like, doing many episodes over a long period of time is kind of building up of, like, relationships between people, and, like, they can have this, like, real payoff, but in, like, viewing it, I mean, I don't know that anyone ever has, but, like, in I guess in doing it, it feels like there ends up being a payoff, but it takes so long to get there sometimes, which is something that I want to work on. I want to try to bring that into a more manageable and viewable state, but it can feel very satisfying, even though it's very slow and long.
Can I share on my tiny screen what
No,
the types of clouds are?
no, you're just gonna have to say it. We would have to take down the clouds in order for you to tell.
Oh, well, we're
Cloud.
not gonna do that. I'm just
No,
going to
we
do.
are not.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to paint my interpretation of this diagram
Oh,
about clouds.
I would love that.
But
that sounds awesome.
this is my favorite part of the show, where I remember to paint or do something during the week.
Yeah, a lot of the show ends up also being just people doing little creative things for the show, which is really lovely.
I may leave the show a little early today
Oh, that's fine.
because I have a special guest staying with me. My other half, just kidding. My sister, who looks just
Nice.
she's hiding behind a wall. She said, "Clueless twin in the world."
Disembodied voice. Hello, disembodied voice.
I don't know if you heard her, but she said hello. I'm gonna get some water to grab with these watercolors.
Okay. I feel like I can end up talking a lot, but you mentioned at a risk of getting too meta, and for viewing wise, maybe it gets too meta, but for my personal taste, I don't know if there is such a thing as too meta. I I love the, like, silly, just, like, building of levels of things. It's great.
I got this at the grocery store, and I just wanted to share.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That is. That's very nice.
I'm very overjoyed about this.
I think my taste for the meta has decreased.
Yeah, that's fair.
There is a once you really, I don't know your experience with it, but once you experience enough things that really try to push the limits of how meta you can go,
Yeah,
it's like, ooh, okay,
yeah.
just tell me a story, just
No, I
show
get
me
that.
an image,
I get
Yeah.
that. I get that. Yeah. No, it's true.
But the important thing is I think we need to go because I interrupted you, and we were going to go back to whether you would rather be a Pegasus or a unicorn.
Right.
You
Unicorn.
described your dream.
Right. I described my dream of being a Pegasus and how great that was. Oh, bird.
Yes.
Wow, nice bird.
That
Is that a
was
goose?
That one went slow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a goose?
Hey,
It would surprise me.
you a goose?
Hey. You.
Wait, Shelton, why do you say unicorn?
I don't know. I feel like they have like a way to be like defensive and like badass and magical, but also like
Defense?
they're representatively like gay, which is cool because I'm gay. My lovely friend from the corner added that unicorns are the national animal of Scotland.
What?
I did not know that.
Please provide more information, magical person from the corner.
We would love to see your face also.
She said that it's on Wikipedia.
The national animal of Scotland?
It's great.
I feel like that would be like a Highland cow.
Well, you're clearly wrong, and it's the unicorn.
I wonder.
Well, I feel it would be. So I can feel my feelings are facts
This is like
about my feelings.
like a propose when a certain person from a certain political group is like, I feel that this fact is
Exactly.
not true.
This is a pretty political issue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yes.
I'm having a hard time figuring out how to draw clouds because they're white, you know. So my game plan is to draw with a crayon with and a watercolor white pencil and see if it's resistant enough to other kinds of white. Also,
It's
It's really
Sirius
true.
spelled Cirrus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see if this works.
Scotland is
You're glitching out, my dude.
Yeah, you are.
What about now?
You are
Nope.
okay at the moment.
The national animal of Scotland is the unicorn.
I wonder if there any other national animals are mythical
Did you not
beasts.
believe us when we said it? Just kidding.
No, of course I did not. No, I just didn't trust that it wasn't Wikipedia being fucking weird. But it's like it's the BBC, it's visitscotland.com, it's all sorts of. Let's see what it means to Scottish identity.
Now, Sheldon. Oh, do we have some disembodied voice commentary?
The disembodied voice said, "I've never lied in my life."
Well, I don't.
So I know that that's fucking false.
You know, does somebody on the outside, although like I can hear something happening when the disembodied voice happens. It does seem like you maybe are just talking to yourself.
I swear to God.
I'm here. I'm Candy Crush.
What if we both talk at the same time? Like if I go ha and then you go he, or like, you know, he. No. I'm trying to prove that I'm not talking to myself.
I like this so much more than the possibility of that disembodied voice not becoming embodied. I like Shelton needing to prove Prove this.
I don't need. What if the voice is scary? I'm trying my best over here to paint clouds, but it's actually kind of hard.
Bird.
Did I miss it?
It's still there, but it's getting very small.
So these little
Here, I'm gonna try something.
wispy ones. Those would be cirrus clouds, CIRRUS, and then the ones on the bottom that just look like a weird blob I'm working on, but those are stratus clouds, which I think also is what we're seeing above
In the distance.
in the distance.
Okay.
So if you look in the image, the ones all the way to the top look like they're either cirrus, top left, or cirrus clouds, or they're just really far away. And then the other ones are stratus clouds. Or they could be cumulonimbus. I'm not really sure. Kind of hard to tell. But now I can identify them in my photographs, which is kind of fun. Thank you.
That's nice.
This nice little experiment.
Now, Sheldon, you said something about the defensive capabilities of the unicorn, which I think is actually an interesting point, because right before you said that, I was thinking, like, if I was a Pegasus at this time in history, like, I would absolutely be hunted down. Like,
You would just have to breed like a lot so that there were a ton of you that could like also attack, you know?
So you're talking about a Pegasus army?
Yeah. Somebody's got to defend Ukraine. You said right now. So what I thought, I was like, you know what? Like, if I was a mythical creature coming back, I'd be like, here's some wrongdoing that I feel like I can try to help with, and then probably end up murdering my species again. But I'd go out trying, you know?
The brave heart of Pegasuses.
Yeah. Why not?
Really, the unicorn should be Braveheart, because they're in Scotland.
Brave corn.
Right. Yeah, the article I read said that unicorns stand for purity and power and virginity and subtlety.
Why virginity?
I don't know. I've never seen a unicorn having sex. Maybe they're all virgins.
Clearly, you haven't watched.
Not the Pegasuses, though.
I didn't
Pegasuses are definitely
that Google search for us.
Yeah. Pegasus bone down. Unicorns are chaste little ladies.
I don't know if you've seen My Little Pony. Just kidding. There's a really great Bob's Burgers episode about My Little Pony that I highly recommend everyone to watch.
So I like the idea of the unicorn, that there's like using some magic to like kind of hide away sometimes, you know, like because people are gonna be trying to find unicorns. I like that. I like the idea that you could maintain being a mythical beast and not be hunted by helicopter.
You know, I'm actually really enjoying this painting now.
Sometimes all you have to do is start.
That says a lot right there. Okay, so we got. Ooh, it's watercolor, so it's going everywhere. Cirrus, cumulonimbus, I should have written this on here.
I mean, that's a new one.
This is circocumulus
What?
and stratus.
I think we got some. So we've named the cirrus. I think in the foreground we're dealing with stratus, but in the background it's looking like a lot of cumulonimbus.
I will label them on the drawing.
Like kind of by the mountain.
Oh,
Yeah, but even behind the trees, like in the far off distance.
Oh yeah,
there.
yeah.
I thought you were talking about the drawing. Then I was like,
I really like how there's like kind of this elephant.
Yeah,
nose
I was
kinda
thinking like
sticking
a
up.
brontosaurus sort of
Oh
situation.
yeah. No, I can really see that because you got the little tail there.
I
Mhm.
see
Mm.
an octopus, like because the two little like blobs like look like octopus eyeballs, and then it like reaching like one arm like this,
Mm.
Yeah.
or a very large crab. I don't know if you guys see that, but like the shadow part is its underbelly, and you're viewing it from above or from below.
Oh, okay. I kind of see what you're talking about.
The claw.
Now, Dave, I don't know if you have gotten your opinion out on whether or not you would be a unicorn or a pegasus.
Yeah, well, my instinct is unicorn, because I'm like, it definitely as you pointed out, it seems like the weight is the amount of magic is really weighted towards the unicorn. The power there is much greater in the unicorn versus just flying for the Pegasus.
Right.
But flying has such a hold over human imagination that maybe in some ways it's even. But I think unicorn. But I think there are limits to the unicorn's power, and I
Right.
think it's interesting to think, okay, what are magical powers we can think of? Is that something a unicorn would possess or not? Like, could unicorns turn invisible?
That was
It's
my question too.
Let it do whatever it wants to do.
Well,
I
but
don't think whatever.
yeah, I think there are limits. I think you're right about that. I think that, but like something like invisibility, I think that there are some limit. Like there is some like invisibility that can do, but within limits.
Yeah.
Like it can't just like turn invisible whenever it wants and go wherever it wants. But like if it's standing in the right sort of environment and somebody is trying to find it and it does not want to be found, that it can kind of just like stay still for a while and just be invisible.
We're circling back to that ability to like make it like it only rains when you're inside.
We already did. I think when you were out, I made an argument for that the unicorn can change the weather to the extent that it can create rainbows around it. Dave pushed back a little bit against
I just
that.
don't give a shit about a rainbow,
Yeah.
Well, clearly you need to learn to appreciate the fun things in life, Dave.
It's probably true. Wow.
You know how fucking cool it is that you can look and just like in this world, you can look up into the sky and see refractions of light and be like, this is the light is the collection of all colors, not the absence of all color, like pigment. Ever take a physics class? That shit was so cool. I had an 80-year-old physics teacher spin around on a wheel and go, look at all these colors. And I was like, I want to be a photographer. Anyways, rainbows are cool, Dave. Start to appreciate them. Feel joy.
Read me, Shelton. Read me for filth, Shelton.
You're welcome. I hope that next time you see a rainbow, you're like, man, fuck that Shelton person.
But goddamn, this is cool.
Yeah.
I want to note that it's looking a little dark now. There's some dark clouds coming in.
Yeah.
Does it start raining during this video?
I guess we'll see.
I want to see another bird. That was so cool.
Something's got to wash away the blood.
Ew.
Yeah, I guess it's gotten a little dark. Maybe we missed out on.
Yeah,
in the
crimes are
midst-
happening all over.
In the midst of our unicorn Pegasus debate, we might have missed our crime that happened.
Right. We're here arguing about, silly things, and people are dying out in the streets of Missoula, Montana, or the fields.
People are dying everywhere all the time.
I mean, not everywhere.
In a lot of places.
We're in 3 rooms where no one is currently dying at the moment,
That you know of.
I don't know. Is he still alive?
Oh,
Yeah,
on cue.
yeah.
Gulliver, how you doing over there?
Disembodied voice. I guess we do have a ghost in our presence.
Yeah. Possibly a pickle ghost.
No.
Do you smell pickle, Shelton?
No.
Okay, not a pickle.
That's a
ghost.
bad. If someone told you smelled like pickles, you'd be like,
I love pickles.
But even if you like them, do you want to smell like them?
No. I really like the.
So much hesitation.
But like,
So much hesitation.
I feel like Sheldon
I
really
really
just
like
wanted to
pickles.
fight me on that. Was like, I don't want Dave to be right.
and
on
I
this
was
one.
thinking about the sound, like the crunch sound when you bite into a spicy pickle, like one of those giant dill pickles.
Mhm.
It is like the most satisfying crunch sound. And you're like, my sister has misophonia, misophonia. So that sound is probably really irritating for her. But for me, she just whispered, "No, it's not." So I really like the good sound of a pickle crunch, and I think it's
Yeah.
a good. But I can't say I feel like, do pickles really have a smell? They
Oh, yeah.
probably do.
100%.
Vinegary, maybe.
It's
Yeah, vinegary,
briny.
kind of
Yeah.
soury, sort of stinky.
Do you have any
sorta-
pickles in your house?
Probably in the back of the fridge.
Yeah,
So take a whiff.
yeah. It's hard.
Dump the juice on yourself. Performance art.
That's not this kind of show. You can catch me on my. I'm trying to remember the name of this website.
Only pickles.
onlypickles.com. I'm sure that's actually a pickle website, so you're welcome for the free advertising.
I wonder.
I'm not typing that in.
I had an idea for an episode of the Hot Show where we just explore the internet together, but it has to be within reason. We can't just be typing in random things, and on the stream. Obviously,
Yeah.
there are limits to what we can have on
Right.
Twitch. But I thought that would be a weird, interesting time.
Could be fun. All right. I am done.
I think unicorns could change the taste of something. I think that's a magical
What?
power a unicorn could have.
All right. Are we ready for this diagram?
Oh, hold on. Yeah.
Mm.
So we got cirrus clouds are the kind of wispy ones.
Mhm.
Stratus clouds are the ones that you see in most sunset pictures, I think.
Mhm.
And then
Okay.
this circo, you gotta get close to kind of see it. It just
Mhm.
looks like a cat scratched it, kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then cumulonimbus, this isn't the best drawing of that, but it looks like the ones that are in the stream right now. And then these little alto cumulus clouds are little puffballs. And I showed a picture of them earlier.
You did.
So now I can identify them. They It's like Sunny with a chance of meatballs, and they're the meatballs. Alto cumulus meatballs.
Are these actually made out of different things, or do they become different when they smush together or go apart? You know?
I think my idea, and I don't know if this is accurate. I want to definitely preface that, but my impression is that it has to do with the different pressure systems that they're within.
And also their height from the ground.
Mm.
From what it looks like circocumulus, there's a chart that says this, are above 18,000 feet, and cirrus are above 18,000 feet. Cumulonimbus can, like, they go up to 50,000 and then like all the way down to the ground, and then like when they're, or not all the way down to the ground, but like when they're below 6,000 feet, that's like when they look like storm clouds, I think. And then, no, cumulonimbus, and then there's cumulus ones are the ones that are like regular ones, but they're not, like, they're at the same level. They're at 6,000 feet, but they look like cumulonimbus, but they're not like cloudy.
See, I feel like we're categorizing these, and I feel like if I were a cloud, I'd be like, this shit isn't all that different, man. It's if you like, if someone looked at people and was like, thought that one person was a different kind of person than like 5 people together.
I think that you need to look at this chart in order to understand.
I've seen the charts.
It's
I've
like,
seen the chart. I've done my research.
I have to agree with the basic sentiment that you have, Dave. That there's a bird. There's a bird. Oh, it's gone.
it's a plane. It's spilling.
Um,
What if this is the real Sasquatch video? We never even knew.
I think like that I don't know, like I guess like what came to my mind was like the way that you know, even though it's not completely accurate, that like the Inuit had so many different kinds of words for snow, that like we like have like snow and like icy snow and slush and like powder snow, I guess. Like, but like we don't really have a lot of variation. And so this is like, oh yeah, there's cirrus clouds and cirrus clouds and stratus clouds, like, but there's like an infinite variety of clouds,
Right.
and they're all completely unique.
Do you know that I think I've talked about this before, but young girls have more, like, when by the age of 3, young girls have more words to describe their feelings than young boys, and it's because they're asked more often about their feelings, and how they feel about things.
Oh,
I'm not.
so an embodiment.
So like, they're also like, when you're describing different kinds of colors, there used to not be a word for blue for a long time. Right. And in old like Greek writing, they used to describe it as like the sea was the color of wine. Like, and the more you use language to describe different things, the more you can tell the difference between them. And it's almost like when you are a really great painter, or a really great photographer, you're good at, I feel like I've heard a lot of painters say, I'm just really great at seeing. Like, I'm a really great observer, because like if you're a great painter, you can paint a lot of like depending on what kind of painting you do, like it's that you see more details or you notice enough details or you notice the way that like light is hitting a certain thing and how to paint that and how to like I don't know. Anyways, so like I guess my long version of that is because there's so many different words for snow in the I think it's pronounced Inuk.
I mean, there's different groups, I think.
Yeah. Like in their language, like it makes sense because they have so many experiences that they need to know that the difference between those things.
Mm-hmm.
And like the more colors that you can list or like the more time you spend telling the difference between different colors, you actually can see better. Isn't that crazy? Like if you can differentiate colors more, like I have to color correct print because I'm a photographer, and like I can tell the difference between different colors sometimes better than other people because I have to stare at them all day and try to decide if something is slightly magenta when it's not supposed to be, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting, and it's really interesting the possible flip side of that maybe the language is creating the difference rather than just describing the difference.
I'll have to think on that.
I mean, there is a lot of interesting, like, things that are true about how language does create ideas for people.
Right.
Like, that it forms how people think. Like, love is a really interesting example because in the English language, we have very few words to describe different kinds of love, but in other languages, they have a lot more and can describe a lot more nuance of different kinds of love. But because we only have basically the one, and maybe you could talk about liking someone or something, but like we have such a limited vocabulary about love that the way most people in like our culture talk about love is through such a limited view, and are like, if you say that, like, hey, I love you, man, like some people get so freaked out by that because all they can conceive of love is love as like a romantic relationship. But like obviously, like I have a lot of love for like my friends. Like that's a very obvious thing in my life, but like the language is the same, and it's so the conception for a lot of people is the same. But it's also interesting because like where I don't know, like where do you come up, where do like words come from if you don't have anything to express, like colors or something? Like how do you come up with a new name of a color if there wasn't that color to begin with?
Right.
Oh, there's a video about a mantis shrimp, and it's like, think of a color that you can't even imagine, and then multiply that by 16 because like we only have 3 different color receptors. Like
Some people are four.
Oh
Some
yeah,
people are four.
and then like there's like all these like differentiations that like but it's interesting because the mantis shrimp does have 16, but their differentiation between colors is actually like terrible apparently. And I
They can't color correct for shit, man.
Yeah, they must be.
You see movies made by mantis shrimp? These guys are fucking amateurs, bro.
Yeah, I am gonna head out soon because I have my sister staying with me. But I did want to add that if you ever feel like watching the movie Waking Life, there is a really great interpretation of when they talk about language and the meaning of the word love, and how like there's like this, I can't remember if it's a couple or if it's like two friends. I know that it's a man and a woman, and they're sitting in bed describing like the words love, and it's like, so you think of love and you think of all your like the meaning of that word and what it means collectively to everyone versus what it means to you, and then you think of all your experiences that you've ever had with love. So like you're thinking about like your parental love, whether that be like positive or negative. You think of like your like sibling love, you think of your like the way that you care about like other family members or people that are younger than you or older than you, or your the way that you love your grandparents. And then there's also like, you know, romantic relationships and like all of your experiences with love. So when you hear that word, like I think a lot of people associate love with like all of those different relationships, but you also think about like whether what associations you might think love belongs with, like caring, comfort, joy, fun, like all of those things in with it. So highly recommend that video and that whole movie. But it's a long movie, and if you need to take breaks while watching it, that's okay.
It's a fairly intense movie. It's great though.
Yeah, I watched it in high school, and then I like got really into existentialism and became a little goth for a while. So that was fun.
I do want to point out. I think we got a raindrop on the camera.
Oh yeah.
Down in the middle there.
How long are we into this video?
We were pretty close to the end, I think. Let's see. Oh, we finished. We got to the end.
Wow, I was gonna say it seemed like it was not moving for a minute
Yeah.
there.
Yep, we did it.
Well, that was an absolute joy.
Yeah, this was. I wasn't really sure how this was going to be because you never know who's going to pop into these things. But this worked out really nicely to just have like a nice, intimate conversation with the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was lovely.
Well, Dave, I hope the next time you see a rainbow, you appreciate them and embrace them. You don't
I'm gonna say, ew. They say, no.
Phobic.
What's that?
There's a comedian who has a bit that I can't remember who it is, who says like, I feel like gay people are selfish because they took the rainbow as a symbol, and how can a group of people just take a whole spectrum of light? Because I really like rainbows and I want to wear a lot of clothes with rainbows, but then people assume that I'm, you know, gay. And then he's like, but I can't put a sticker that says like not gay, because then it's like, then I would have to add a second sticker that says not gay but an ally or something like that, which I can't remember what comedian it is, but it was a nice little thing. Anyways,
I think one thing I'm definitely taking from this is that real rainbows, I've been reminded, are much better than cartoon rainbows.
Yeah. Get this.
Any representation of a rainbow pales in comparison to
yeah.
Even when someone young and innocent made it for you, as a little.
I mean, it's lovely in a different way than someone young and innocent makes you a rainbow, but still not quite the same. I really like that your eyes are clouds, your forehead is a rainbow.
Yes, that is good.
Well,
I don't know how you're feeling, Dave. I know you just sat here for about an hour and a half. generally, this is the point where, like, if other people are around, we kind of will hang out some more. But I know Shelton's on their way out. I don't know how you're feeling.
I am feeling the need to head.
Cool. Well, then maybe let's just end the show. Have a nice little short show today.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a little.
Sheldon, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you as well. I
Yeah.
feel like normally we do a nice little segment where we say, like, next time we have you on, we'll have you as a guest and we'll play the Getting to Know You song and all sorts of
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a fun little tune that I wrote for getting to know people a little bit better on the show. Is there anything that either of you would like to promote before we get the heck out of here?
I have something to promote. I'm having a print sale with my friend Alan Moore. ALLEN space MOORE. Alan Moore Studios on Instagram. Just type in Alan Moore or Cleaner Gallery, and the prints are $100. I get 10% of that, but you also get.
Oh, do you have something at the Cleaner Gallery right now, Shelton?
My friend Alan does. I helped with the show. I did the documentation work.
Oh, cool. My partner and I are going to the Cleaner Gallery on Saturday.
Oh my God, yeah. I just documented, but I won't be there on Saturday, but my friend Lauren will be. Make sure you say hello. And if you want to buy a print, please buy a print. And we'll be supporting an amazing Black artist who makes dope work about grief and all sorts of cool vinyl stuff. And he's a really nice guy.
That was a great plug.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I would plug for inside during the rain. If you have a space if it's raining, get the fuck inside. I follow at inside on any building platform. on any foundation of a building. Usually a good building will have an inside, and I highly recommend being in that when it is raining.
Great. Another great plug.
And also, This Is Your Afterlife is your podcast. I wrote that down.
But honestly, Sheldon, you finding out about it, that's more plugs that I've done my plugs for the week.
I wrote it down. It was Aldo Leopold, This Is Your Afterlife. Everybody watch Waking Life and discuss it with me later.
Wait, you're writing down your own comments?
You should see my my search engine at the end of this show.
I love
It's
it.
a hot show. We don't know how it's gonna go, but my Google search history will be interesting.
Maybe we can do something with that sometime. Like get it at the end of a few shows, and then I don't know, try to guess what happened in previous episodes based on the Google search results.
Yeah, I like that.
That you've come up with.
Dear God. All right, time to end this show.
I'm gonna plug. Follow the Hot Show at Hot the Cat on most streaming, not only streaming on Twitch, most social media nonsense.
We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We don't have TikTok yet, but maybe we'll get there one day.
Yeah, maybe if somebody has more time than I currently do. I also really want to plug this game from 1992. It's called Trip World. It was on the Game Boy. It is one of the most enjoyable games that I've played in a while. Platformer where the enemies, the creatures are not enemies. Most of them do not kill you. It's an adorable game, really enjoyable. You can turn into a fish or a little helicopter guy. Most of the time, you're like a little squirrel. Check it out. All right. That was the Hot Show. Thank thank you all for coming down. That was a hot show. Thank you all for sticking around. I hope you had some fun, but now the show is done. So go on and get out of here. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Amazing.